So we said the rand function is used to provide us with a random number. What I wanted is to have a for loop, a loop that creates an array with 10 elements, and each element will contain a random number. So the very first thing I do is I'll create my array, rand numbers equal square bracket, or you can say array, whichever you prefer, right? Square bracket. Now I need a loop. So I can go for loop, I is equal 0 and I is less than 10, I plus plus. So I want to go 10 times. Now, how do you add the element to the array? What should I do? What are my options?
Array index.
So I can do array name, which is rand number at I. That's one, right? What is the other option I have? Let me just put the rand here too. Rand, call the rand function, and I say give me from 1 to 100, right? What are the other options I have? How else I can add to the array? How else I can add the new element to end of array? Array push. So, right? That's another way. What is the other way? What is it? And? And gives you the value. It doesn't and, right? So this is array push. One more time. Let me just bring this one so you can read it as well. So simply you have the array as the first element, and the second one is the value, right? If I want to use array push. So here I would say send rand. What do I want to send? I want to send a random number. Is that correct? So I can pass this one as a second parameter here. What is the other way to add to the end of the array? Way easier than all of this.
Rand number is equal to
Rand number square bracket equal, right? You don't even need to specify the index. I can go ahead and say $ rand number square bracket is equal rand. 3 different ways of doing this, right? Well, I have another way which we're never going to use. It's just for you to understand the concept. Otherwise, nobody's going to do this. The other way is rand. Can you come up with the idea? Any idea? Here you go. This is another way as well. Right? Do I need -1 there? Do I need -1? Do I need -1? I'm adding a new element. Do I need -1? No, I don't need. Right? So different ways of adding element to the end of the array. Well, obviously, you will pick the easiest one, which is the third version, rand number square bracket equal whatever value it is, right? Word up your array, see what you get. Just comment these parts, and right at the end, I'll go ahead and word dump my array. What is the other way to print the whole array? What is the other function? Print R, right? Print R does can do the printing for you. So print.
What does the R stand for?
No idea really. Maybe array, but then they. There you go. Right? You see, every time it creates random array. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, we have created the random array. I want you to go ahead and write a function to get the sum of all the values in this array. What would you call that function? Sum, right? Array sum or total, something that is meaningful. Remember, you pick a good name to document your code less. Because if you don't do that, then you have to provide documentation, right? So write the code to sum up, return the sum of the rand number. So we create the sum function, pass the number, we make the total equal 0. We use for each loop to go through the array numbers, add each element value to the variable total, and at the end, return it. Now if I want to print this, I just go ahead. First I would horizontal ruler here to separate. Then I would say print total, and I'll call the function, right? Function name, and I pass what? What do you pass? Rand number, the array. I'll go back to this page, and here it is, this total. Since the array is random, every time it gives me a new total. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, you remember what we did last semester with the array? We could go through the array and get the sum of all the even number. Do you remember that? Can you do this? Write a function to get the sum of only the even number, not the odd numbers. So call it sum, odd sum, or the even sum. What do they say? Do they say even or odd? Even. So call it even sum, or sum of even, whichever you want to call it. Okay, to create the function to just sum up the even number, I almost need the same function. I'll call it sum even, right? Now, what do I have to do here? What do I have to do to make sure the number is even number? What operation do you use? You say if num mod 2 is equal 0, add it to total, right? Otherwise don't. So if I go call this function, it just sends me the even number value. Is that correct? Did you all do it the same way? Okay. I want you to write one more function. Call it isEven. This function receives a number and returns true if the number is even. Otherwise, it will return false. So is_even. It receives a digit. It just checks if it's an even number or not. If it is even number, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. I want you to use isEven function in the SumEven, the one that you create before this. Where do I have to add this? What line?
Use the function inside of the function?
Yeah. Where do I call this function in even SumEven function? Where? Line 16, where I do the compression, right? Instead of writing this, I simply go and say isEven, and I pass the num.
It's even, not event.
Pardon me?
Word event, not even.
It doesn't matter. It does? It's not that smart, huh? Here you go. So I create a function. What is the advantage of this function now? I'll create something I can use for the rest of my life. Anytime I want to see something is even, I just add this to my library. I keep creating big library for myself so I don't repeat the code again and again. Anytime I need to know if something is even, I have the function, put it in my project, pass the number, it sends me true or false. Yes?
Does it matter the order of your functions?
Not really. No, it doesn't. Okay? Any question? Okay. What I want you to do is this. I want you to create a function, call it copy odd values, or copy odd. Okay? What I want this function to do, it receives the array which contains the number, it goes through the array. Whenever it finds an odd value in any element, it copies it to a new temporary array. Right? So you look at the array I'm sending you, whenever you find the odd number, you copy this to a new array. You keep adding all these odd number to the new array. When the function is finished, you just return the array. You got the idea? Yes? This is my array. 1, 5, 8. Right? I'll send you this. You've got to create a new array and have the odd value in it. In this case, it is 1 and 5. Then you return this. The key point is to remember how to add an element to the end of the array. It's not very hard to do, right? Let's see. So I'll create a function. I'll call it, what did I say call it? Function copy. So I'll pass the array that I want to get the copy odd, right? Copy odd number. So here you go. The very first thing is I create a temporary array, right? To store all the odd number if there is any. Then next I have to go through the loop because every time I deal with the array I got to go to every single element. So I will go here and say for each array as number. Okay, what do I have to do here? Tell me. First I got to check if n is even or not, right? What should I write? If is even, thank you, is even n, right? Can I put not at the beginning? It means it's not even, right? And then do what? If it's not an even number, then it's an odd number. I have to store it into 10. Right? When I'm done, I just return 10. Does that make sense? Did you see how we use the isEven function now? You see how your life it become better and better because you create module that you can reuse and reuse in different form and shape? That is why I say a function must do only one action. Because if you wanted to do anything else inside the isEven, it was impossible to use it here now. Right? Any question? So to call this, just to go print r copy odd number, and I pass rand this. Let's go here. Okay, sorry. Did I call it wrong? Ah, my God, I don't know why I'm looking for an event. Syntax, thank you, Mazir. So 52, very good. Here you go. Are those all even number? You see it?